So a friend of mine asked me to work on this clock. He couldn't get the clock to stay running for more than an hour or so. It's a Schatz carriage style clock. It's a nice looking clock. It's got these little keepers on it. You open those up and you can take the top off. There's this section right here that holds the pendulum up. You release this and the pendulum will swing. I took the suspension spring off already. This is why his clock will not stay running. You see how twisted the wire is? That's the issue with these torsion anniversary clocks. These wires cannot have any twists in them, any kinks. If they do, they will not stay running. So I'm going to replace the spring. The clock is not that dirty. So I think replacing the spring will allow it to stay running. It's a 53 model. It was made in 1956 by Aug Schatz Sohne. 2 jewels unadjusted. And in order to work on these clocks, it is a very good idea to have this Oliver 400-day clock repair guide by Charles Terwilliger. It tells you there are some discrepancies in this book per the NAWCC, but for the most part, it tells you, you look up all the plates and it'll tell you who made it, when it was made, and stuff like that. And you have to search. This is in real size. Well, sorry. This one actually says 2/3 actual size. This one says 1/3 actual size. But you look at your back plate, compare it to these, and it'll tell you what it is. In this case, it's this one right here. It says made in 1954. It's 53 model, because it shows 53 right there. There's another 53 model right here, but this is plate 1013A. I'm sure all the parts that come off here would fit this. And these are the 54 models. But like I said, this was made in 1956. It's stamped right there. Uses this type of suspension spring, unit 10A, and it's the appendixes. So let's go back here to the actual suspension springs, and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. Unit 10A. And this is what it's supposed to look like right here. You basically match this up to all that to get your size of the suspension spring. So like I said, I'm going to replace the suspension spring, and it should last longer. I'm not an expert in these clocks. I don't work on them enough. Derek, or Torsion Dell, is his YouTube channel. He shows you how to put these clocks in beat. He works on them for a living. So I will leave the description of his YouTube channel in the description of this video, and I will leave a link at the end of this video to his YouTube channel. You want to know how to fix these clocks? Please subscribe to Torsion Dell's YouTube channel, because he is the expert. He's my group expert. I'm not an expert in these clocks. I know just enough to get me going. Here's some springs that I ordered from Time Savers. What sucks about this is they don't put the measurements on the springs. So I typed in this number, 01725, into their database, and it shows me that is the spring size. And if you remember correctly, 0.0023 is what we need. Now, using a piece of cardboard, I poked a hole in the cardboard for the bottom block to rest in to help me put it all together. And then I taped the bottom block down to the cardboard, and then with my markings I was able to put the spring together. Derek Torsion Dell, he's very skillful. He'll use a pair of tweezers to hold the thing in place with his left hand, using his right hand, tighten the screws down. Well, I can't use my left hand to hold things because I'm not very coordinated. I can't use a pair of tweezers and hold the thing down with my left hand while I'm using my right hand. So I grab a hold of the item and tighten it down. But like I said, Derek is the expert in all this stuff. If you were going to do this every day, you know, whether you're using a piece of wood that's got a groove in it for the spring, that's what I would recommend. And then use this as a template. This is 10A and 10B. Use it as a template, and that way you don't have to get in the book and a lot of people will hold the items up against this picture in the book and do it that way. And that's the way Derek does it. But like I said, he's more skilled than I am. I would tear up this book doing it that way. This tool is known as the Horoliver beat setting tool. And what you do is you attach it to the top block. And after it's attached, you loosen this top screw, which I believe I already got it. No, I don't. Now, instead of making adjustments at the block, you make minute adjustments back here. Once you have the clock level, you try to put it in beat. If you don't have a Horoliver beat setting tool, I imagine that you can modify one of these tools here to lock this onto the top block. That way you can make adjustments out at the handle. I don't like making adjustments right there on the block. You can make fine adjustments out here. And so it should work better. I'll also have a piece of blue tape on one of these balls, and you basically want the tick and tock to be 180 degrees opposite from each other, plus a little extra to give it that oomph to make it all the way back around. And then after you think you have it adjusted, you need to put it somewhere to where it doesn't bump anything, to where you don't bump it, and let it sit and see how long it stays running. You can put a beat amplifier on them to help you out, but sometimes a beat amplifier on the anniversary clocks give you false indications, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I just like to put it somewhere and put the hour hand, let's say on the 12, like it is, and that way I can come back and say, okay, it ran for 5 minutes, or it ran for 10 minutes, or whatever. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, I'm not an expert at these things. The Torsion Dell is. So make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. And may God bless each and every one of you.